Hostile architecture refers to urban design tactics aimed at deterring specific activities or groups from using public spaces. Examples include comfortable benches, spike or surface, sloped design, and sprinkler systems. Critics argue that instead of addressing social issues like homelessness, these tactics exclude vulnerable population and perpetuate inequality by displacing problems rather than resolving them. Now let's going to talk about the problem. The first one is ethical problem. So, so the one feature about ethical problem is social justice. That is, hostile architecture perpetuates perpetuates social inequalities by targeting marginalized groups like the homeless or skateboarders. This reflects social attitudes that exclude certain populations instead of addressing root causes like homelessness and poverty. Ethically, it raises concerns about fairness, justice, and the dignity of all individuals in urban design and public policy. The another problem is the epistemic problem, that is like lack of empirical evidence. There may be a lack of empirical evidence demonstrating the effectiveness of hostile architecture in achieving its intended goals, such as reducing loitering or preventing vandalism. Without rigorous research in data, it is difficult to assess the impact of these design interventions on public behavior and safety, leading to epistemic uncertainty about their efficacy and justification. The last one is pragmatic solution, um, that is temporary solution. Hostile architecture often provides temporary or superficial solution to complex social problems, while it may discourage certain behaviors in specific locations. It doesn't address the underlying causes driving those behaviors, such as lack of affordable housing or social support service. As a result, hostile architecture merely displaces the issue to other areas or exacerbates tensions between different user groups without offering long term solutions. So, hostile architecture could have unintended consequences, exacerbating rather than alleviating social issues. Authorities Authorities should have consulted with affected communities before implementing hostile architecture. Urban planners may have overlooked alternative, more inclusive design solution in favor of hostile architecture. I wish we wish had reconsidered implementing hostile architecture in our city. It has only deepened the division among our citizens. We shouldn't have overlooked the social ramification of installing hostile architecture. It has created a atmosphere or exclusion rather than fostering community. And we should have considered alternative design approaches that respect the dignity of all individuals. Hostile architecture has only alienated those in need of support.
Hostel architecture is an urban design that technically what it does is like to restrict certain actions that people usually do in public spaces. Eh, this is a concept that was like kind of created in the 19th century, and it was used mostly in cities like Venice and Norwich in England. And what they did was like to in the urine, like create urine reflectors, so like to discourage like public urination. Another example that we can take from the back old days, it's the Berlin Wall, you know, uh, that this was to like to separate two different kind of ideologies, but also like it impacted like white neighborhoods and black neighborhoods. Another example that we can take from the 19th is that in New York, or what in the US, the government started to use this kind of architecture to stop, the African American. Uh, Something that they did is like to build a bridge from New York to Long Island, and it was like really really low, so the buses didn't couldn't like go through it, and that was something that impacted those people. But like taking an example from nowadays, this year, as you know, the Olympics will take place in France, and the government had started to, to take off these rough sleepers from the city, just to like to clean the city from the Olympics. Well, this kind of architecture affects mostly homeless people, but thankfully there are some initiatives that are taking place right now in different countries. One of them is uh, from Rain City Housing, that is in Canada, in Vancouver, exactly, where they create like emergency shelters for people. So if there is rain and they need a place to sleep, they can open that like bench, and it would be a safe place for them to sleep. Also in Copenhagen, they are creating like mini parks, for, and it's called a bench where everybody can sit. And yeah, those are mini parks where people can go and have fun with their friends or whoever. There is another project that is called Project Gregory, and that is taking place in Slovakia, where they create like spaces, like a kind of bedroom house for homeless people in billboard spaces. So they are taking advantage of this opportunity, to create advertisement, but also like trying to, use correctly that space, creating bedroom for homeless people. Our main goal with this project is to firstly identify the places where there is a hostel architecture here in Bogota, and then like ask the Unica students about, if they know about it, what it is, and the consequences, and if their lives have been impacted with this, and then with the information, like to create a 15-20 minutes workshop or something like that, to create awareness, and to let them know about this problem that I mean it's happening right now everywhere, and to also to give them some tools for, to counter this situation in the city.